Hello and welcome everyone to episode 202 of One Piece at a Time, the One Piece read-through podcast where we read and discuss 5 chapters of the One Piece manga each and every week. I'm your host, Derrick, and I'm joined by my wonderful co-host and freelance letterer, Brandon Bovia. How you doing, Brandon?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm, of course, freelance letterer Brandon Bovia, here to... I don't know where I was going with this intro, but this was an interesting set.
This is more
This was a very good set.
We are setting it's like we're getting the next set of like things happening. Like it's I don't want to call it a setup chapter because things are actually like will set up set, but it definitely like I can see like so many spinning plates. It's like, oh, when's this going to come into play? Oh, when's this going to come into play? There's so much happening here and there, and it's all interesting. It all has me invested.
I feel like we're starting to reach this interesting cadence with Act 2, right? Where we do like last week felt like we actually had kind of a lot of big stuff happen. And then it is sort of like, okay, like this sort of relatively big thing happens and we kind of do the fallout, we kind of do the setup for the next thing. And so we are, like you said, we're kind of spinning all of these plates at the same time. And it feels like every handful of chapters, there's something that happens that kind of shifts the status quo a bit, which again, that feels, very in line with, previous One Piece arcs. But I feel like just the amount of and depth of all of these storylines kind of happening concurrently has been really, really interesting.
It feels like each Straw Hat is now accruing their own sort of set of side characters. Yeah.
Like if we're going to liberate Wano, it really kind of has to come from all sides, right? Like it really, and I think that's the best way to get like the big picture of kind of like the plight of the people and things like that. So it makes it for a really interesting set. I keep thinking of Dressrosa. I think of some of those sections of Dressrosa. It feels very much like, okay, the Straw Hats are all kind of getting their own perspective. And of course, it's all going to come together in some way, shape, or form. It remains to be seen just how yet. But
oh, I'm excited to see how it might in some cases because
there's
just some
it's coming.
Here. Oh yeah, there's some stuff that is coming. I should note before we get right into it, though, you probably noticed it with my voice. I am getting over the flu. It sucks, and I have a lingering cough that has made my voice a little hoarse. So sorry about that, but I'm happy that I feel well enough to talk about One Piece. So with that being said, let's get into One Piece with chapter 936, Sumo Inferno. And I love how all characters Wanze just became this fan favorite, this weirdo.
Yeah, right. He showed up. He was in gold, right? Like for like a frame.
Yes, he just had that one cameo.
Yeah, and now he's here. It's just this interaction with him and Aokiji freezing his bowl of ramen. It's just, and he's got the penguin whose name I don't remember.
I don't remember the penguin's name either, but he is constantly with Aokiji. So
yes,
that's just kind of cute. Like he just has this permanent friend with him. So that's cute.
God, no, these animal interactions are adorable. It's a great way to just pass time until we're ready for the next cover story.
It's still really funny that we have not had a manga reveal that Aokiji lost a limb.
That's true. At this point, there's only one place where I think it is. We're not close. We're not close.
Oh, well, I know. What reason would Aokiji have to be in Wano? So yeah, it's going to be a long time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There's a scene, and then I thought, like, is that the first time we see it in the manga? The answer, at this rate, is probably yes. So, well, I'll try to remember to point it out when we see it, because it's, like I said, not close.
No, not at all. But we left off last time with Raizo discovering another ally, one of the 3 major samurai that they're trying to find, Kawamatsu. And he's in this cell that never opens. He's finally talking. Apparently he's been living off of for 13 years off eating rotten fish. So it's amazing how well the constitution of certain people in One Piece can just handle eating really bad food.
That's fine. It's built different. And I love, as soon as we have this discovery, right? Like Kawamatsu's like, okay, so when's the day of the battle? It's like, all right, we're 9 days from now, the night of the Fire Festival. It's like, that is ideal. I'm ready to fight whenever. It's like, you have been eating rotten fish for 13 years. And the second you hear like, oh, we doing a revolution? Like, bet.
Yeah. I'm there. I love how we still have not, in the course of the entire set, we still have no idea what Kawamatsu looks like. We have a clue to what he might look like, but we haven't seen it yet. But I also love this visual gag that happens where, they're having this conversation behind this wagon, and the wagon gets pushed away, and then all of a sudden all the guards are like, wait, what's going on back there? And then they catch Raizo.
The funny thing about this, I thought about this, is that like Raizo is a good ninja, but he gets caught a lot.
He gets distracted quite a bit. So,
yes.
But, he found the key. He has to find a way to get it off, but he has to disappear for now. So, they're figuring something out. But Queen is ready for some more entertainment. So how is he going to execute them? A special device performance, the Sumo Inferno, where they attach special collars to both Luffy and Yo. And as he gives a demonstration, if you're inside the ring, nothing happens with the collars. You go outside the ring, and it's a set of like super sharp spikes that go straight into your neck. It's a saw trap.
They're going to cut your they're going to cut your neck off. For some reason, I thought of that one bit from Yu-Gi-Oh, because you mentioned Saw, where they had the dark energy discs in the 4Kids dub against the Arcana or whatever. Yeah,
it's really good, and I'm like, oh man, that's gonna be interesting. That's gonna be some good training for Luffy to have the Sea Prism cuffs on, and this collar. So that's gonna be an interesting challenge for him. As Queen explains further, all they have to survive, all they have to do is keep winning sumo matches. Fall off, you die. Team of 2, if you both fall, your execution is complete. But if you feel like joining our pirate crew at any point, Straw Hat alone will be freed. On our side, we've got weapons, we've got numbers, and we have no collars. I have no limit on the manpower at my disposal. So to make things more fair, I'll take off your Sea Prism stone cuffs. And Raizo's like, what? I worked so hard to get this key. Wait, does that mean this key that would not have freed Luffy? What the heck? And I'm like, oh, Luffy just got, like, man, this guy's just got made way easier on Luffy.
Yeah, no, Luffy's like, all right, that's awesome. It's like, you're a really nice guy. you pretty much freed me from being captured. And I love these interactions with Queen, because he really is just the goofball. It's like, wait, you forgot about the collar? Put something far more dangerous on you instead. So,
and Yo's just like, no, if we're a team, I'll only hold you back. At least let us go one at a time. It's like, and Luffy ignores him. He's like, hey, Balloon, if I knock you out, will you set us free? I love how it just immediately has a name for Queen, and just
it's Balloon.
Yeah. I love the confidence on Luffy. Honestly, I love his design right now, where it's just like it's his shirt's off, it's just the outfit just around his waist.
He's got the scar on full display, the muscles on full display.
Yeah, it's just a good look for it. Like,
yeah. And I think that the confidence that Luffy had, like Luffy's, again, we talked about this before, but like he's in peak form. Having him like acting alone through this section, like he is just like Queen's here as the boss, but like clearly Luffy's not intimidated, and like other than Queen, Luffy's kind of far and above any other person here, which as it should be.
It really, no, but nobody else should be giving him a challenge at all in this. So, and it's a question of whether or not Queen will give him much of a challenge. So, I'm curious about that one. But yeah, just the sheer confidence on display. Of course, they're just like, yeah, we're gonna take him down. Just wait and see. So here's our first set. The waiters. God, they have so many of these terms for them. So,
Oh yeah, yep.
It's like, all right, on your mark, and all the other prisoners are like, well, rest in peace, old man Yo and Straw Hat. And here they begin. He's like, all right, you're gonna learn a painful lesson. No, Supreme King, they're all down.
That's it. It's like, okay, next. These guys aren't even good for practice. And
they're all and
everybody's flipping out. And even Queen's just, kind of lightly amused. So it's just like, yeah, this is about how it would go, isn't it? Yeah. Luffy's just, no, get out, next.
I do love the confidence on Queen's on display from Queen.
Oh, yeah. He's, Supreme Pink Hockey. Like, yeah.
Yeah, he's not even like shocked or anything. It's just, there we go. But we get more from Kawamatsu. He's able to watch all this thanks to the cart moving thing. All right, things have been very noisy since she showed up. Just don't let Boss Hyogoro die, understand? We need him, Luffy. And then we have our first clue to what he might look like because he's going kappa pa 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 as his laugh.
So you think he might potentially be a kappa? Ooh.
Who knew? Maybe.
Interesting.
But turns out we're not done with the bathhouse yet because it's time for a raid. They're actually raiding the bathhouse looking for everybody. And here's Hawkins. He's a headliner. He's like, okay, he's here. Drake is here. What's going on? And Drake refuses to go into the bathhouse.
Yeah, which is funny.
And he's like, my job is to eliminate some idiot named Soba Mask. You handle the small stuff. And I like how he's playing it off, as we'll find out.
Yes.
But yeah, Nami, Robin, and Shinobu are all still stuck in there. So what do we do? How do we get away from this? And it's not that they're looking for those three. They've learned what their code is. They want us to show off your feet.
The crescent moon mark. Yeah.
Yeah. So anybody who has that mark is going to be arrested. And we saw him looking at that before. And it is a mystery. It's still a mystery about how they figured that out. Whether Hawkins figured it out himself just from seeing that, or somebody revealed it. It's hard to say. I like that there's a genuine mystery.
There's a mystery, and as Shinobu says, like, the plan leaked. So there's clearly something. Somebody somewhere knows something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there might be a traitor in their midst. It's hard to say, but we'll have to find out what it's all about. I honestly don't know how that's all going to play out, because I have no suspects. Personally.
Although at this point, you do kind of have to wonder about Hawkins a bit, right? Sort of.
Hawkins is proven to be extremely intelligent. Plus, he has his prediction methods, so I'm kind of putting it on Hawkins.
It would make the most sense at this point.
Yeah, I think so. But
or
Hawkins,
at least information getting to Hawkins.
But yeah, Robin and Nami are hiding behind Shinobu, and he's like, wait, somebody hiding back there, and he tried to use his sword to do that, and Robin and Nami are getting ready to do something, and Nami just steps out behind. You're like, oh, sorry, I wasn't trying to hide. I'm just a simple passing. And you can see her towel loosening as the sword's coming towards her. As Hawkins like, that woman. And whoop, down comes the towel. And I love, I'm almost sure the entirety, or at least all the women of Wano are bisexual, because there's women getting knocked out by Nami's family.
Oh yeah, they're all like, yeah, oh man.
The women are into women in Wano. That's just what it is, because they're getting hard eyes, they're getting nosebleeds. It is she is a weapon of mass destruction right there. It's not even, and she's not even didn't even attempt it. But like, geez. Yep. The anime had fun with that part.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And of course, the best part, because we had the feeling you might be here. You just see just a geyser of blood and just happiness punch. The return of the happiness punch from Alabasta, and out comes Sanji, just unconscious on the floor, just thinking of Nami's ample, bountiful, curvaceous.
I'll be honest, before I saw the reveal that it was Soba Mask, I honestly thought that was Hawkins.
Which would have been hilarious in its own right, too.
It really would have. But yeah, they're like, Sanji, why are you here? What's that outfit? Is this a joke? And why'd you say Soba Mask? And, well, no, that's Drake outside. He's like, did you say Soba Mask? Yeah. He's inside. And Drake comes in. Drake tries to go in, and it just sees some random woman just half dressed and is like, oh God, you're weak. If you're weak at the sight of a woman's body, just say so. He's like, I'm not weak.
It's a great little gag for such a serious character like Drake.
It's really good. But they use that opportunity to slip out, and Hawkins points out, is like, hey, you're from the North Blue, aren't you? He's like, yeah, what of it? That's German Double Six's Stealth Black, the real thing. So
there you go.
And that's make the escape.
And that Hawkins is from the North too, so they both. I love that all of the boys from the North Blue are all comic book nerds.
That's really good. I like how that keeps paying off. That just like Oda deciding which characters came from the North Blue. So that's fun. And I love how Ramen's just like, you doing all right? Did you lose too much blood? And he's like, nah, I could die happy right now. But it's no good that they learned about the ankle tattoos. And there's one other bad piece of information. Beppo and his friends have been captured. So, crap. That's not going well.
The plan in general seems to be hitting some rough snags.
Yeah, because Beppo's going to, and them are going to be used as bait to lure out Law. And Law, who knows what, if he's anything like Luffy, he's going to do his best to get his crew back. So,
right, exactly.
Not so good.
It turns out surviving for the next 9 days is going to be really tough.
Yeah, that's going to be a bit of a problem. And I love this classic scene as we go to Ringo, where there's this snow-covered bridge, and Zoro is caught up with the guy who stole his sword. And he just goes, done running away, eh? For coming straight after me, you sure took a while to get here. It's like, shut up. Got lost.
Yep.
And of course, the famed Shusui has already been returned to where it belongs. It was most callously stolen from the grave of the legendary samurai Ryuma. He's like, I know that. Then be smart and turn back, or else I'll take the other 2 katana on your belt as well. And I love how Ryuma continues to be. I'm so glad we read Monster when we did. It worked out so perfectly.
Yeah, and you knew, meeting him, that like, oh, he's a samurai of Wano, and knowing that we're gonna go to Wano at some point, and that this would be such a cultural like a cultural artifact, right? Like cultural heritage. There's no way we wouldn't touch on this, and that was like quite literally the first thing, right? That Zoro got arrested because he had Shusui. He's like, we got a grave robber, so he keeps getting accused of it.
Yeah.
But of course, it's good luck for Zoro as well, because apparently this person at the bridge, this giant man, is a weapon collector. So it's like, as it happens, we could use a whole bunch of them right now. It's like, so he's a stroke of luck. I think your weapon collection is going to a new home, and of course, they start having a sword fight on the bridge. So Zoro is off doing Zoro things. As usual.
Of course, he's living that samurai life, and you know what?
It really. I think with the snow and on the bridge, like, it really does feel like it's just straight out of a samurai flick.
I'm okay with this.
Yeah.
Yeah. It also strikes me as funny. It's a weapon collector, and the way that face looks, it reminds me of from Final Fantasy, recurring character. I'm blanking on his name right now. He's shown up in other stuff. Gilgamesh.
Oh.
His face is so much like Gilgamesh, and Gilgamesh also steals a bunch of weapons. So I'm like, I wonder if Gilgamesh's design was inspired by this sort of archetype of a Japanese character.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. Not positive on that one. But either way, let's go ahead and move on to our next next chapter, because, hey, there's no SBS for this one.
All right.
And get chapter 937, Gyukimaru on Bandit's Bridge. And got another color spread, hanging out with some, just kind of classic pirate things. Yeah, we got the, oh my God. Parrots. I was, for some reason, my brain was thinking peacock. I don't know why. Can't get my birds right, but yeah, I just love they're all looking at the globe. They've got the sword in it, pointing where to go next, and just surrounded by treasure. Of course, Usopp's got like a Viking hat on, like a giant. Yeah, that's kind of
just
perfect.
Chilling out eating on a banana. This is just a good classic style cover. Yeah. Planning new adventures.
And Oda making sure to have that cheesecake there.
Yes, of course.
Whether it's Nami on the floor or Robin just really getting a good look at that globe.
Yeah, the low-rise jeans.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a fan.
I love how Luffy is starting to look more and more like Roger as he accumulates like what he's all about.
Yeah, he's got the hat, he's got the jacket. It's a good look.
It's a good look. But yeah, into the chapter itself. Time to go to the opposite end of Wano in Curry as we check in on Chopper's group heading for Udon to ostensibly rescue Luffy, but in Big Mom's case, wanted to get that Ushiruko, and she's having some bonding time with Tama.
Yeah, which is kind of adorable, honestly.
And I like her. She's like, I felt the sweetness of the red bean paste spreading across the inside of my cheeks. Oh, I know. And the way the little piece of mochi shines like a frog's eyeball is just, no, Olin, you make it sound scary. Oh, do I? Gosh, I'm so hungry. I can't wait for that Oshiruko. Chopper's crying. You're just like, oh my God.
Yeah, right. And one, what if she learns there isn't any and returns to being Big Mom? And that's only going to make things more dangerous for Luffy. So, like, things right now are good. You know, Big Mom, you know, having lost her memories is just like the kindest, sweetest old lady you could ever imagine. You know, maybe doesn't know her own strength, but, you know, could at any moment regain her memories, and then it's, you know, it's all hell breaks loose. Right?
Yeah.
So
it's such a tightrope, and there's nothing that Chopper can really do. It's kind of amazing. Yep. Like, I feel for this poor boy.
I think that, again, it is funniest of all to me that it is poor Chopper that got saddled on Big Mom babysitting duty.
Yeah. Just kind of the best one, honestly. It's just like, it's perfect for him. And
we don't like, as long, all they really need to do right now is go from point A to point B. So, like, we don't really need to spend too much time on them until they eventually reach their destination.
Just sort of keeping you updated what they're up to. But time to check in on Luffy again, and they're still getting wiped, and as we learn, I love how prison camp is just a training arc for Luffy. That's all this is.
Yep. And really, like, I feel like that's perfect, right? Because again, we fought Kaido, we got just completely destroyed, you know. So it does sort of establish this mystery, right, of, like, you know, he's the final boss, you know, ostensibly. So it's like, how do you fight this guy? Like, how does Luffy get to that next level? And that's what we see him trying to do. And the way that, you know, he's like, you know, he's still not right. Like, Rayleigh knocked back that elephant without even touching it, which was, you know, we saw that like 400 chapters ago, 300 chapters ago, and that the hockey that was on display then, you know, Luffy's trying to recapture that. He's like, he did it lighter. Well, you know, he was like, who are you?
It's just like, first time he showed it to me, it was really off the charts, I guess, if I could learn to use that. So he's just using these guys as test fodder.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's great. And, of course, that Scorpion guy's just, if you let me handle him, I can put him to death in an instant, Queen. It's like, where's the excitement of that? Much like the Plague battle needs time and numbers to be properly exciting. So now we got to see why he's the Plague. He likes to take it very slow.
Yeah, he likes to see him suffer. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, I love the setup here, right? Where all while this is happening,
I'm so excited.
Queen is just chugging Oshiruko, right? He's another bowl, yes sir. It's like, how many bowls have you had? He's like, don't question me. You know, Oshiruko's like oxygen to me. I need it, and I brought along plenty, but it's not for sharing. It's my favorite, and it's all mine. And you're just like,
I am so excited for that setup. As soon as I read that, I'm like, oh hell yes. Big Mom versus Queen, that'll be fun to watch. Like, he'll stand no chance, let's be honest. There is no way Queen can stand a chance to Big Mom.
He's like 1.03 billion or something like that. Like, hey, he's tough. But you know.
It's Big Mom. We saw what they've done to try to kill her, and it does not work. So, but it's still like that could make for such an interesting fight in itself. So,
yeah.
Ooh.
Man, Big Mom, hurry up.
Yeah.
Let's see where that goes.
Gotta save your Oshiruko. That's all it comes down to. You gotta do it. But we go back over to that bandit bridge, as Gyukimaru here has learned from Zoro that he met Ryuma. He's like, they'll so belong to someone else I knew. Nah, nonsense. Ryuma was a samurai who died centuries ago. He was a great and undefeated swordsman. Any who dared to challenge him were cut down within an instant. You cannot possibly understand the value of the great Shusui. And, I love this backstory on Ryuma.
Yeah.
That we already kind of knew about, but it goes on to how essentially he is to Wano itself. Because it turns out in the long distant past, the world knew Wano as the land of gold. Pirates lusted after it, world nobles desired to rule it, but one man stood fast and mighty against these enemies from abroad and made it known to the world at large that Wano was the land of samurai. And the story of the dragon flying over the capital that he slew is but one of Ryuma's many legends as a swordsman, which, we saw that legend.
That's a reference.
I feel like Oda could make a just another manga where he just goes over the adventures of Ryuma and you'd be
right, like kind of the backstory. Yeah, and sort of I love learning how far back that history went, right? That like it is sort of Ryuma almost as like the original samurai of Wano.
In many ways.
That he had been kind of established as a national treasure, as he says, and that he was, consecrated as the god of the blade. Like he's really that big of a deal, and that Shusui is such a important historical artifact that Zoro was just gotta just walk around with.
I mean, he's the entire reason that Wano's independent.
Yeah.
That's impressive to hold off the world government and everything else like that. Like, good God. Oh, man. Be very curious to see. I wonder if it was just everybody was like, because technically Zoro beat him. But obviously that's not him in his full strength as a zombie. So, or is it that people were kind of weaker back then and they've grown stronger since? I'm kind of curious how the power balance there. But
well, I think actually some of the dialogue on the next page is kind of interesting. Where, Gyukimaru kind of continuing on talking to Zoro is like, I overestimated you. Shusui is a black blade. It was forged through Ryuma's history of battle. And to my knowledge, the only other time, I don't know if you remember this, that a black blade has shown up or has been mentioned is Mihawk. His like giant crossblade is he called it a black blade way back in Baratier, and I want to say that is the only other time that has been brought up. But apparently, as a black blade, it was forged through Ryuma's history of battle. And Zoro kind of catches on to that, like, forged. I was wondering about that. So, like, to me, like, it's kind of saying like, oh no, like Ryuma was, a proper high level boss.
Yeah.
If to the point, if Shusui is the only other black blade we've seen up to this point, other than, I don't remember what Mihawk's sword is called, but that.
It'd be really interesting. Here's just a slight prediction. If it's time for Zoro's training arc, and his training arc is him having to forge his own black blade.
I could see that. I mean, I feel like we do actually have a bit of an interesting problem here, where I don't know if Zoro carrying like I feel like Shusui probably belongs more with Wano than it does with Zoro. So, but if it is a black blade, and if it is, like that strong, that like he kind of needs, he needs Shusui, right? So there's kind of this conflict here.
Yeah,
is I think what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it's like it is a cultural artifact, but he was given it from
the real one.
Yeah,
right. So
that kind of matters. I'm very curious how the process of Zoro getting stronger is going to be, because you have a very interesting thing here with him where, all the way back to his original challenge to Mihawk, he swore to Luffy he will never lose again. And he has kept that promise. He has not lost a single fight since then. You could maybe count Kuma, but not really.
Yeah. I doesn't really count. Yeah. And he lived, so it's fine.
So it's like, if Zoro's going to lose anywhere, I think it might be here, but I don't know. I'll be curious how they handle it, because it's an interesting balancing act that shows that Zoro has to get stronger, but how do you do that without him losing? So
indeed, yeah. And because I'll say that, I'll throw this out there because it has not been explained yet. So it is my personal theory that, that like a black blade, if it is like forged through battle, I feel like it is in some ways kind of like the user kind of like imbuing their haki in it. Is sort of like that's sort of my interpretation. Yeah, exactly, right. Like it is sort of like a permanent infusion of it. But we don't really know. Well, I feel like that'll probably come back up at some point. But that's just how I think about it.
Yeah, that makes sense. But I love how this Gyukimaru does not pull his punches no matter what is going on with Zoro, because he hears somebody screaming for help, and he goes like, what's going on there? And immediately the guy tries to attack him. It's like, have at thee.
He's like, have at. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just kind of like he an opening is the path to victory. I only strike when the opportunity presents itself. So it's like, all right, he's not a fair fight.
No, and he sees a woman and child in the distance, and is like, well, what's going on here? And as soon as you see them, it's like, yeah, okay. It's Kamarasaki and Toko running from them. And, it's like, hey, it's a samurai, help us. And swordsman, please save us. He's like, wait, is this serious or a joke? Make up your mind. He's like...
Yeah, because Toko can't stop laughing.
And then he sees the blood on Kamarasaki's arm. It's like, well, guess that rules out a joke. And he sees some crazy guy in bandages and a scythe doing some crazy maneuver towards her, and Zoro leaps in the way and blocks it. It's like, wait, hey, it's like, what's going on here? And as he's doing that, here comes Gyukimaru trying to stab him in the back.
Yeah, he's like, read the room, man. And I love it how all this is happening. Zoro's clear. He's so done with all of this. He's like, you and I were in the midst of a duel. It's like, I know, I'll get to you.
I gotta protect the innocent first. So
right,
just the way it goes. But turns out the one chasing them is Hitokiri Kamizo,
who we first heard offhand like 10 chapters ago.
Probably more than that. I feel like it was like really early on they were talking about this guy.
It was like right at the start of Act 2, I think.
Yeah, because he was just like randomly slicing down people, right?
Yeah. That's his whole shtick.
Yeah. And he's just like, why are you protecting those women? And you, woman, why are you protecting the child? And he's like, he doesn't get it all. The only thing I want to hear is the life of that laughing bag of a kid. And that's when Kamarasaki is like, they call you an indiscriminate killer in the capital, but you're actually an assassin of Orochi's posing as a criminal, aren't you? No one else would have any reason to kill Otoko. So you refer to our shogun by name without his title. And who are you? So it's like pretty much confirms it. So
right, this is an assassin, basically.
Which I did not call that would be the payoff to that this random character being talked about. Also, I love how his design. I feel like his design is a reference to Rurouni Kenshin.
Really?
Yes. So there's a massive arc where they go to a capital. And there's the big villain. I forget his name, but the big villain of the arc is a guy who was horribly burned ages ago, and is just constantly just wrapped up in bandages. And it's kind of similar to how he's designed. It doesn't have the hair out, but it's a similar look.
It's interesting that it's like over the face.
Yeah, it's because that's the way it was too. It's just completely over the face. Like it was his entire body. It's only the face here, but it give me that visual reference. And since he did work under, wasn't he a assistant? Oda was, I would say.
Oh, Oda. Yeah. He was an assistant to Watsuki. Yeah.
Yeah. So I could see that being a reference.
I wouldn't be surprised. Although, it is... I love that this is all just like... Zoro's basically like, I'll protect you guys for a good meal and drink. It's like, all right, you got a deal. But I love that. It's interesting, we're here in this sort of like samurai setting, and here's this guy with a like a Grim Reaper scythe. So not much of a samurai, this one.
I like how like you got Kaburasaki, the most beautiful woman in the country, and you can see the sort of the asexuality of Zoro, where like most others would at least go for a kiss from her. He says like, nah, food and booze, that's all I need.
Right. It's like, I'll do anything. It's like, all right, yeah, feed me. Give me some booze. It's fine.
Very different than if Sanji was rescuing her.
Oh, of course. Well, first he would be like, oh, he would. I love that it's Zoro, because he's just been off in La La Land for like this whole arc. He has no idea what has been going on. He's like, I don't know who this person is.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I don't like the idea of the trouble that comes from slicing up someone with a boss, but in this instance, and the guy just immediately starts like, you're going to be the one dying, and get a pretty decent sword fight between the two when they're ducking each other. It's like, it seems like a pretty even fight. And Kamizo even realizes like, oh, you ready to try this time? So he's like
right, he takes off the jacket. Is like, all right, we're into this. As you could imagine, this fight is awesome in the anime.
Oh, I bet they went all out with this one.
It is.
This is a good way to extend some things, is just have a good long sword fight for Zoro, especially with some comedy bits, because anytime Zoro gets close to the Yukimaru tries to stab him.
Yep, exactly. And he gets distracted, and that's enough for Kamizo to just get that scythe just like straight through his shoulder. And it's just like, oh, that's the fatal blow. Yep.
And it's a pretty nasty one, but then he realizes, I can't pull it loose, and Zoro holds it.
He's tightened his muscles
to clench the freaking blade in his arm, then yanks it out himself so he can use it as a makeshift third blade, and uses it to use his Purgatory Onigiri and takes out Kamizo. That's a sweet fight. It's short but sweet.
It's short and sweet, yeah, and it's a good ending. It's a good ending. It just Zoro using the scythe as a third sword is fantastic.
Yeah. Oh man. And you gotta love how, I was like, oh, you're getting serious because you took off your coat. He's like, man, he hasn't even put on the bandana yet. You're not
right, yeah. Like this is nothing. Again, I feel like Zoro, we're so far into the time skip at this point. In real world terms, it's like 10 years almost. Not quite 10 years, like 8 or 9. And it's just like Zoro still hadn't really been pushed. Not really.
It's been a while. Also, I just noticed something that's really cool. Did you notice what Zoro's wearing once that cloak comes off?
Oh, no, let me look.
It's nothing too crazy.
I'm trying to see, because I've already... Huh.
I'm curious if you...
I don't know what it... Yeah, it doesn't really stand out to me.
Okay. That's the exact same style of kimono that Ryuma wears. Very plain, simple, and white.
Oh my god, you're right. You're totally right.
And if you look at Ryuma's design, he doesn't have the green hair, but his style is so Zoro coded.
I kind of believe it. Yeah.
I wonder if they'll start seeing him as sort of the reincarnation of Ryuma or something like that, just because of those similarities.
There are let me say this. There are aspects of similarities that are not an accident. Certainly not an accident.
So I just happened to see that. And I was like thinking so much about Ryuma. It's like, wait a second, that does look like Ryuma when he's in the monsters.
Interesting coincidence.
Yes, indeed. Oh goodness. But Before we move on to the next chapter, though, we do have an SBS for 937. First up, saying, thinking back about Tama's house, there's this tanuki that looks like a bunbuku kettle. But I like to think that he wasn't domesticated with her power. I don't think it's tamed with Tama's ability. If you're ever in need about wild ideas for your beautiful chapters, how about I help you out? It's like, what?
Sure
so
thing.
and Oda just goes, so you've noticed. The fellow existence, I mean. In reality, it's the kettle. It's a kettle that ate the dog fruit tanuki model.
Sure. All right.
Since it was a kettle precious to Hitetsu, even now that it's gotten those powers, both Hitetsu and Tama are still emotionally attached. Also, it will feel hot if you put it on fire, so it is a pet that can't be used to boil water anymore. But one more thing, I was hoping someone would notice it, but no one mentioned it, so I announce it right here. If you look carefully, Mr. Bunbuku is actually sitting on its own balls. Laugh my ass off. I can't believe no one ever noticed it. I laugh as I drew it alone. So
it's the little things.
And they have a little image here of the kettle. What looks to be when you look at that image, it looks like it's just a dotted like cushion that it's on. Mm-hmm. Nope, apparently that's its ball sack.
I love how much manga artists love giant tanuki balls.
Oh, it's just the it's farts for Americans.
Yes, very much so. Despite being very Japanese, I feel like there are some humor that is just universal.
I mean, one of the earliest EMV things I saw was like a joke one, and then it showed used images from Pompoko and used the I forget the band that sing it, but I've got big balls, he's got big balls, and just there's crossover humor there.
There is, yeah.
International. Anyway, next question is please tell us the name of the massive Naginata Whitebeard carried. Also, could it be that it's part of those fabled Saijo Owazamono? I guess a supreme grade sword. And Oda says its name is Cloud Cutter Murakumo Giri, and it is a supreme grade blade / sword. So,
oh wow,
that's the first one I think we've ever seen, unless it's you count. Maybe I'm sure Mihawk is one as well.
Yeah,
but and last question is: does Nami's happiness punch is still priced at 100,000 berries, or could it be that with her body maturing, the price went up? Says
Great
of course
question.
It did. Nami didn't do it willingly this time, but this scene is Alabasta's memories. Please think of it as if she'd charge 300,000 berries now.
She's gonna make a killing.
Yeah, she is.
all those people.
Public bathhouse, yeah, that's gonna happen.
Yeah, that is a multi-target happiness punch.
Oh God. All right. Well, let's go ahead and move on to our next chapter, 938, A Woman's Secret.
Oh my gosh! I wonder what that could be.
Who knows? But. Another cute one, just birds hanging out with Crocodile.
Yeah. He didn't seem too pleased, but
it's just like
it's like he's annoyed but not annoyed enough to move.
It helps give the impression that he's kind of chilled out a bit.
Yeah.
So but we get into the chapter itself, and Kamazo's done. He's cut up, he's blanked out, he's
one tapped.
Done.
Yeah, but of course, of course, with that injury, Zoro he's huffing and puffing, he's breathing a little heavy, and he's like, damn it, not when the big battle's so soon. So of course, 9 days, man, 9 days.
And he's. What's interesting is that he is getting ready to the Yukimaru is like ready, like, heh, and then he just walks off. He doesn't try to finish. Now that fight's over, he doesn't try to stop Zoro. He just walks back to his bridge, and Zoro passes out.
Yeah, he got what he wanted.
Yeah, so I think he took the other scythe as well.
So he's a hoarder.
Oh yeah, he is. So interesting little conclusion there for Zoro, where he did take a pretty massive injury there, and not so good. Like it does kind of remind me of early One Piece, where the only way we could nerf Zoro in fights is to make sure that he's constantly injured.
Yeah. It's a little bit of that. It's not going to be it's not a huge factor, but I feel like for this section of the story, definitely, right? Like, it's like, okay, we got him where he needed to be with who he needs to be with at this moment. And it's like, we got Zoro from point A to point B, so we can kind of mess him up a little bit.
Yeah. But we're not there long, because we go check in on Kinemon and the Mink Musketeers back at the abandoned village in Curry, and things are not good, because they're all the information is being passed around that the enemy has found out about the symbolic flyer. It's a whole ordeal. It's like, okay, what do we do? And hey, you even get to see a little peek of Carrot. I kind of forgot Carrot was still around.
Yeah, she's still here.
It makes sense that she just sort of integrated back into the Minx.
Yeah. So, she's here. She's just chilling. It's interesting that this Kinemon says, like, the symbol we had distributed it with caution, but there's no way to tell, like, where or how it leaked, and that they chose this symbol on the off chance that it would fall into unintended hands. But now that they've learned the meaning, of the symbols and the ankle and all that, so things are very quickly kind of deteriorating.
Mm-hmm. And it just cuts over to the flower capital, and all the people that we saw talking about the revolution are, being discovered to have the crescents. They're being rounded up and arrested. It is it's not going well. And I love how Hawkins goes, "There's no time for us to leisurely tour the city's bathhouses. Good for you." And I was like, what's that supposed to mean? You let them get away too, members.
I like that Hawkins has a little bit of a sense of humor.
Yeah. There's a nice little rivalry between Hawkins and Drake.
Yeah, it's fun.
I'm still so curious what Drake's whole deal is as a former Marine. Like, something's up with him.
Something is up.
But we also learned that Komurasaki's wake is canceled because, stuff is going crazy with all the half crescent moons and all that stuff, and the crowds, and chaos at our future tomorrow is going to be even worse. So nobody's going to really like Kyoshiro because of what he did. But
it's fair enough.
There was no other way, and I'm the one suffering the most damages here. It's like, with her obviously surviving, like, he has to be on their side.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's interesting, right? That knowing now that she survived, and knowing, kind of implicitly that Kyoshiro is supposed to be quite strong. That if he wanted to deal the killing blow, you kind of think that he probably would have. And you could say, like, maybe it was like the chaos of the moment or anything, but like.
Yeah, he's a good guy. I'm positive of that one.
I feel like you could. That's sort of the interesting thing about his dialogue, is that I feel like it is worded very carefully in a way that you could read it kind of, in multiple ways. It's like, I'm the one suffering the most damages here. So and that he continues to look at this the message and have such interest in it. Yeah,
he's very much amused by it all. Moving on from that, we go on to Ebisu Town. And it's interesting how Oda, again, we go to place to place to place so quickly in these. But they feel just long enough to get what you need before you move on to the next one.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like... I guess that's the interesting thing. And I'm sure... I wonder, since I wasn't reading it weekly at this point, like, I wonder if, like, it does feel like maybe week to week that not enough is advancing. But, like, here in this setting... it really does, like, we get kind of just enough to keep things moving. It feels like we are never anywhere for too long, and we kind of get just enough information.
Yeah. What's interesting for us, though, is that typically the 5-chapter setup has given us sort of mini arcs where this one thing has been accomplished in this set of 5 chapters. Mm-hmm. I would say we're not quite getting that anymore. Like,
not quite, yeah.
Like, not fully. Like, we're getting multiple movements, but not enough to get a complete view of everything, Yeah.
Some weeks definitely feel like, okay, here's like a complete I love it too in particular, where it's like we get introduced to something and then we kind of we wrap it up. You know, we conclude it in the same set, where it is just sort of like we started with this, we ended here, and that's, you know, kind of it. But like, man, you really do start to feel like just how dense Wano is. I don't know. We've only been here for like less than like not even 40 chapters, right? And it is just, it feels like so much has happened.
So much. Oh my gosh. But there's a whole big argument going down, between, it turns out it's between Shinobu and Law. But Sanji's like, hey, we shouldn't be casting doubt on each other. I didn't see anything either. And his face is just nothing but pain.
His welts is just he's swollen. I love how it's swollen. He's got his eyebrow on one. Frankie's like, how does a human face get punched to make that shape?
I love how now he's like, you're the least trustworthy of all of us. And well, he lived his dream, and
he got it.
That's his 300,000 berries worth of pain.
Worth it.
In his mind, yes. But Shinobu is convinced that Beppo and the others spilled the beans. That's the reason why the operation's getting spoiled. And Law's like, nah, don't insult my crew. They would die before they talk. So that is not the case. And we're going to get to the bottom of this at once and rescue them. And it's like, no, that's what the enemy wants, Traffic. You got to stop. And she's just like, hey, eliminate the ones who are captured, silence them for good. And she's
like, whoa, there's that old school ninja coming out.
She is ready to go all out for this. And she's like, just like, wait, what did you say? That's the way of things in the ninja world. We're not playing a game. We've been waiting for this moment for 20 years. If we fail, we'll never have another chance. That is, I like that it's like she's been kind of a silly character up to this point.
Yeah,
but it really does show the seriousness of what they're attempting to do.
Just reminding you of the stakes too at this point, because like, and that's a kind of a dichotomy that we'll continue to explore here, I think, for kind of the next little bit in the section of the story, where it's like, hey, you have these pirates here who, of course, you know, are certainly in Wano for their own ambitions, but like, if things go south, right, they can just leave. But like, that's not true for the people who live in Wano and who have been suffering under, you know, the ruthless command of Orochi and Kaido. So for the people who are here, for the people who call Wano home, right, like this is their one shot to do it, and it has to be perfect.
Yeah.
So I do feel like for the people of Wano versus the pirates, kind of how the stakes feel end up coming off very differently, which I like that this is getting explored.
Yeah, it's a different idea, a different way of handling the fact of the chaos of the Straw Hat crew, because no plan ever goes right with the Straw Hat crew. You'll work out in the end, but the plan never goes right. But they are so desperate, they've been planning this for so long, that the plan is so much more essential. Where, you know, you had the assassination plot for Big Mom went off the rails, whatever. You know, they were kind of upset by it, but they weren't like heartbroken. This really is like the only shot.
It is quite frankly do or die, right? Yeah. Like it is that serious. And so I do like this, that you kind of understand where Shinobu's coming from, even if, you know, she's being very extreme about it. But you also understand, like, Law is not going to take anybody talking smack about his crew standing down. And I like that, you know, Kanjuro kind of comes in here. Thank God I remembered his name this week. As the voice of reason. It's just kind of like, things are not always going to go as we hope. You know, I understand that you're frustrated, but like, with the help of these people whose goals miraculously align with our own, we will never be able to fulfill Lord Odin's hopes. So like, you know, we all have to work together. Yeah. And then of course, in through this stressful moment, in comes Tonoyasu.
Yes, and he's just like, I couldn't help but overhear your voices, and what lovely voices they are. And he's like, and sees Nami. He's like, oh, such beauty. Am I in the presence of a goddess? It's like, oh my goodness, please step inside. And he's like, is that Shinobu and Kanjuro? And look, this is all the rage of the capital. In fact, I had thrills running up and down my back. Is it true that there's a great battle brewing? And it's like, at first I'm like, should I start worrying about this guy? I was not sure.
Well, he knows who Shinobu is, and he knows who Kanjuro is. So, like,
yeah,
hold on.
Who is this guy?
Yeah, right. Well, I guess that's sort of what the purpose of the scene is, right? Where it's like you have this guy who's very, very lackadaisical, right? Very just kind of very open. He's an open book, and here he is, kind of la-di-da, and he's like, "There's a fight starting." So you're like, "Oh, is he the one who spilled the beans?"
Yeah, you do kind of wonder that. I don't know, huh? But we move from that to the Northern Graveyard. So it turns out Kamurasaki's taking care of Zoro. He wakes up going, "Swords!"
Yes, I love that. Truly simple-minded.
And she's like making medicine or some sort of soup. It's like, please, you need your rest for now. You'll re-injure yourself walking about. So thank you so much for saving our lives earlier. And you suffered a terrible wound in the process. I just don't know how to express my regret. And Zoro's like, it's got nothing to do with you. It's my own lack of skill. But where'd that huge guy go? I got to get my sword back. And he's ready to run off. And she grabs hold of the arm that's injured.
Of the arm. This is like, don't go outside. You're
hurting. But Toko's positive. It'll get better soon. Back in this capital, there was some special toad oil that I bought for this. So you stole it. We spread that on.
Usopp.
So thank you, Usopp.
Yeah, what Usopp was selling.
I love how it always comes back.
Yeah.
So, it's an interesting trio, and it's cool to see this more natural smile from Kamurasaki. It's like, here is the real Kamurasaki.
Yes, very much so. And it's kind of like it's interesting that we are kind of getting this perspective from Zoro first and foremost of, kind of like the person who, like, again, he has no idea that any of this is going on. So like no idea who this person is or kind of what the broader context is. Just kind of, seeing her as a woman who needed to be saved.
Exactly.
So I think sort of the freed from kind of broader expectations.
And that's when he learns a little bit more about Gyukimaru. He's a well-known figure in the city. I don't know where he normally lives, but he's a warrior monk who appears when anyone tries to cross that bridge carrying weapons. And it's like, okay, so there's no need to rush. And who are you folks? Why'd you have that Grim Reaper guy chasing after you? And that's when she explains, like, well, as it happens, we earned the wrath of the Shogun of Wano, and now we can't return to the capital. That's a Roshi? Oh, Chi. And Toko tries to go do her usual joke. Is like, my name's Toko. That's Toko with the honorific in front. But I'm not a man. Isn't that funny? Not really.
Not really. Aww.
But she does recognize him from overseas because you dress like a samurai of Wano, but you look like a no good nobleman. I heard that. But here's where we get the thing that, like, the most obvious reveal ever in the history of One Piece. I'm looking for my older brother. We were separated 20 years ago. I think that he might be here in Wano now, and his name is Kozuki Momonosuke. I'm his younger sister, and my name is Hiyori. So,
what?
Shocking! Oh my god!
It was something I think I remember saying when we covered this. Like, I remember laughing when I read that because it is like the same, like the scene where they introduce Komurasaki. It's just like, bam, you smash cut, and it's like, hey, Momonosuke, you have a sister, right? It's like, yeah, she'd be like about 26 by now. Like,
you don't say.
Yeah. So it is. I'm glad that it didn't last any longer than it needed to. In fact, this probably could have come even a little bit sooner, would have been fine, but I'm glad that this mystery was not dragged out, right? That we kind of got like, okay, yeah, And if it wasn't that, then it was the like, I'm the daughter of a samurai scene from a few chapters ago. Or it's like, okay,
right.
All right.
It makes sense to do it here because she's all alone with Zoro, so it's not as many people to get that reveal. So like everybody, it keeps the whole theme of everybody having their own little piece of information.
Yes, exactly.
So, yep. We do have another SBS. First up is, I watched Film Gold that I recorded. I saw that Sakazuki tells Lucci, "You've become more erotic. What does he mean by erotic? What the?
I don't remember that.
I don't remember that either, so that must have been lost in translation. Oda says, day after day, people will become more erotic, and our dear Rob Lucci-san is no different. In that scene, it seems Sakazuki had seen Rob Lucci appearing rather erotically on a magazine, so he asked him, can you lend me an issue? I always thought that was a powerful scene. And then he goes, he said heroic. You've become much more heroic is what he meant. Just because somebody misheard and heard erotic instead of heroic.
What?
I don't know.
Jesus Christ. That's all I have to say to that.
Yep. Oh gosh. Next question is, I want to ask something, Oda-san. When we were in Zou, Kinemon didn't seem to know about the transponder snails. But when we came to Wano, we saw similar types of snails, only smaller in size. Did new communication methods get discovered in Wano in those 20 years? And he goes, that's right. And as Usopp explains in 934, there's a telepathic wave-sending Tanishi, which is used to communicate in Wano. It became popular during the 20 years when Kinemon and the others were absent. Now it has become a common communication method in the Wano country. There's also a light scroll Tanishi, similar to a video Den Mushi, but there seems to be a downside. That is, the wavelength is slightly weaker than a normal snail transponders. So, yeah. The other thing it says is, all right, time's up. SBS next volume, there is a notice of the movie Stampede behind. So, looks like he's going to be hyping up Stampede here soon.
All right, yeah, which we'll be getting to fairly soon.
A little bit later than planned, but that's probably for the best.
Yeah, absolutely. The more I reflect on it, the more I think it's the right choice.
Probably is. Let's be honest. All right, let's get to our next chapter, 934, The Old Leopard Never Forgets the Way. And Jinbei just gets to enjoy a nice little haircut.
Yeah, from a spider crab.
Yeah.
I love that look on Jinbei's face. He's so relaxed.
It's the first time we've seen him quite so satisfied.
Yeah.
Oh, Jinbei, where the hell are you?
Right.
Oh, gosh. And we get into the chapter itself, and he's like, and Zoro's immediately like, wait, Momonosuke's little sister. It's like, oh, I knew it. I'm so glad I summoned the courage to reveal that. It was a bit of a gamble on my part. So you know who my brother is? Wait, I need to sort out the facts in my head. So he must still be alive. With all the rumors floating around the return of the Kozuki clan, when I saw a mighty and kind-hearted samurai from abroad, I wondered, maybe he's working with my brother. Oh, unless you're an enemy who's trying to track him down. We find out that she's a bit of a scatterbrain.
Yeah. She's a big old dork, but I think reasonably excited to think that the brother that you had been thought dead for 20 years is alive and here, and so she's got all these questions like, is Kinemon with you? And Kanjuro and Raizo and Kikunojo is like, is everybody here? So of course, kind of putting it all together, like, all right, Momo traveled 20 years ahead of time, so he's still 8. His little sister's 26. But, of course, naturally he's like, pointing to Otoko is like, she's going to be hearing all this. Like, okay, yeah, she already knows. So that's good.
I love the image that Zoro conjures in his mind of Momo. It's just him being...
Yeah, it's just a little pervert.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. And yeah. Toko is one of the few friends that Hiyori has, so her cheeriness actually helps her through the day. So we get her perspective on what happened. So 20 years ago, she was as young as I was as young as she is now, but I'll never forget what happened. Before my eyes, my brother and the others simply vanished among the roaring flames. It was the same day that I lost my father, Odin, as well as my mother. In a single day, I had lost everything, and the idea that my brother would come back in 20 years, it was a fleeting hope. It offered me little solace. I had totally lost the will to go on. And Zora's like, so you weren't allowed to jump to the future with him? And it was a practical reason. Apparently, it was either him or me. That way, if something happened to one of us, the Kozuki blood might still live on. It's like, that's kind of cruel.
Yeah, that's understandable, but yeah. A little messed up.
But it turns out one of their father's vassals, Kawamatsu the Kappa, which...
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Patiently supported and cared for me, raised me from childhood. Hard to believe that he's one of those river imps, but he himself is very proud of that fact. So, and we still don't see a full vision of. I want to see what Kawamatsu looks like so bad.
Right, like we see him in shadow. And he's very stout. He's very short. He's about as tall as a 6-year-old Hiyori.
I love that the way he rescues her is kind of a allusion to the Kappa legend, where don't they like drown kids?
Yeah.
So he takes her underneath the moat in order to save her from the burning castle. So that's kind of funny. But he does a Kappa dance to cheer her up. He gave her what food that he could find while he basically starved. Eventually got her to start smiling again. So, that's all, all better. But, where's he at now? We were separated when I was around 13 years old, I believe. So there's we saw where he spent the 13 years. So poor Kawamatsu.
Yeah, right.
But he's a very powerful samurai. I am sure that he is somewhere out there waiting for the day of the great battle. I wish to see him again. I will say one other thing, though. Before I didn't notice it until just now. Hiyori's on our left side, her right hand, looks really weird in that shot.
It does. It looks like a blob.
It's very much like the other hand is fine, but that one looks so much like a blob.
Yeah.
It's like
little bit of an art weirdness.
Feeling the rush, because when you look at the detail in the background of the place they're staying, like, good God, that's
you're gonna start seeing it with the we're here with the weekly version, so we're probably gonna hit here soon some chapters that might look a little unfinished.
Oh geez.
It happens from time to time.
Yeah, but I'm sure of course they get cleaned up for the
volumes. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. But she gets the news that Doggy and Kitty are with us too. I heard they were dead, but Cat Viper might actually be at Wano yet. But yeah, so again, we get to see that dorkiness that was the same as Momonosuke, where he tries not to cry and bites his lip like that, and she does the same thing. It's like,
I'm the daughter of a samurai. Funny. I won't cry, and of course Otoko just laughs at her.
It's really good. So. It turns out I had no idea that Dogstorm and Cat Viper were part of the Akazaya 9.
Yes. Actually, funny enough, I was slightly worried about that. On one of our bonus episodes on Patreon, where we were going through the the TCG card sets, Dogstorm and Cat Viper, like their type is the Akazaya 9, and I didn't catch that, but you didn't notice it.
I might have seen it, but I didn't put it together because I think it was before we got the term Akazaya 9, so I guess that's a term I just don't know, so whatever.
Yeah.
So that's funny.
Yeah. But yeah, we get the breakdown that it's, of course, Kinemon, Kanjuro, Raizo, Okiku, Dogstorm, Cat Viper, and then, Kawamatsu, and then Denjiro, who we've not met yet, and Ashura Doji.
Yes. So we just need to find that Denjiro, and
we need to find Denjiro. We need to see Kawamatsu on screen, but we're getting them together. We're getting them close.
We're getting there. I almost was like, I wonder if Kyoshiro is Denjiro, but then I was like, no, she'd recognize him.
Oh yeah, that'd be a good point.
So that wouldn't work.
Yeah.
So, but and of course she's also talking about the capital being in uproar because of the symbol. So. But it gives her hope because she's like, they will appear. So
yes,
to just see,
so that's it. I feel like for all of these people who've been waiting all of this time, it's like, okay, things are finally happening.
Thank God. So Zoro just says, well, while having the information spreading out in the open feels like a shortcut to our goal, it's clearly a bad thing that the actual meeting place is known and that our comrades are getting arrested. Things are a bit dicey, but we don't need every last guy trying to steal the ship at the same time, so I'm not going to worry about it. He just lays back.
Yeah, that's just kind of chill about it. And then I also love, because we heard from Momonosuke earlier, right? It was like, I want to see my sister, but like we shouldn't until after the battle. And here she is, like he's only 8. How mysterious. They'll be all just as I remember. Like, I wonder what'll happen. It's like, maybe it's best if I don't see them before the battle. So it's like, what's going on here?
I wonder if she has a bit of hero worship for Momonosuke still as a big brother.
Yeah, I wonder. Yeah, right. Like that dynamic is going to be very weird.
Yeah, it is. I like how Zoro is like, how am I going to sleep with you, Yap? And then him and Toko just fall asleep immediately next to each other while she just keeps talking. It's I love how Oda always has a way of like taking like the most serious character ever that you think like has no chance of being silly, and then he finds a way to make him silly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I'm very glad for kind of having this kind of slower moment to characterize Hiyori in all of these fun ways, and just like when now that she doesn't have to put on airs, it's like, oh yeah, she's completely silly.
Yeah. But we check in on the Flower Capital again and seeing everybody getting locked up. They're just like, to think you've been living in our fair city plotting its demise, you traitors. And, it's all over for you. And, behold, because this is what happens to go against Orochi and Kaido. Yeah. We've got, now that, like, I guess it's like we were seeing how far up the chain the secret is lead. It's like, no, if we've got Fukurokuju, who's like the main, he's like the top ninja, right? Like, oh yeah, it's over. It's not good. But we do see a little panel of Beppo and the two twins saying, "Captain will believe in us." So they did not spill the beans. Law is correct.
They got roughed up.
Yeah, they did.
So. Oh man,
I hope they get a chance to show their stuff.
Yeah, they've been just kind of hanging out for a little while. I love them. They're silly, but they've just been kind of running around.
It really seems like the Heart Pirates are only famous because of Law.
It kind of does feel that way, yeah. And that they're all, because we saw that on Zoe, where like they were all just like posing and stuff. Like they're all being like, we're the Heart Pirates. They're all goofy, but just Law himself is like the one serious guy.
But let's go ahead and jump over to the excavation labor camp. Time for some more training for Luffy, as it's time to take on the Alpaca Man and the Medillo Man. And all the while Kawamatsu is, wish I could sumo wrestle too. It's like,
he's getting bored.
Man, I want to have a death trap on my neck as well. Come on.
Yeah. And of course the alpaca, his whole thing is he's just spitting everywhere.
And we got this Medillo Man, just this weird looking dude. He's just using 2 pistols.
He's like, all right, what's your power? Gun.
Yeah. I could use Sea Prism Stone bullets. So
yeah, all right, there you go. Only made in Wano.
Also, there's no armadillo head separate from him. It's just his own head where the armadillo head comes out, but you can see the armadillo feet hanging out from the back.
It's so cursed.
It's
so incredibly cursed.
The smile fruit is so weird.
They're so weird. Honestly, Alpaca Man is one of the least weird ones.
Kinda.
Yeah. I know, other than the fact that he just, spits everywhere. But, like, that's what alpacas do, so...
Yeah, that's just what they're all about.
It's not that weird.
So, I do like Queen from this aspect, because, like, they're yelling at him for using guns. It's like, it's going to over-BO too soon. He's like, this is execution. And Queen's just like, were these guys blind or something? What makes them think this is over? But this is when Luffy starts training another aspect of something he's learned recently, saying, "Hey Gramps, head to the right, duck, and then jump." And then Yo follows his orders, and is able to use that to headbutt Alpaca Man and take him down.
Yeah, and it's just like, all right, again, Luffy here, he is so much higher level than everybody else here that is like his future sight is just like. They can't do anything against it. It's just like, God, I love this. It's just like Luffy is so strong in this moment.
Yeah, he's literally pulling his punches. He's using the old man to train his future sight, and while training himself to go for the Armadillo Man, and he stops just short because it's like, no, that's just normal armament hockey. That's not right. That's not right. And it's a fun dynamic just seeing the two of them work together.
Yeah, and I love that he's like, all right, what do I do now? I'll just stay there. Like Luffy like picks him up and puts him on his back, and it's just like this dynamic is honestly adorable. And of course, Yo's like, put me down. Like I won't have you burden. I don't want to burden you. He's like, actually, the heavier the better. It's good training. And it's like you're in the midst of this sick execution game, and you said you're training. And so he's just like, all right, I'm trying to figure out trying to figure out how to punch them without touching them. So that Luffy has sort of thinking that might be the what he needs to punch through Kaido's scales.
But I won't know until he can actually do it. So something's up there. He's like, he's seen it before because he's seen it from Rayleigh. He's seen it from
Sentomaru.
And it's like I love the concept of Luffy just using this as training.
Yeah.
And he says that's when Yo realizes, like, okay, haki, there must be a foreign concept, because in Wano 2, there is an invisible power that stems from the body and can be infused with the blade. A good katana will cut through steel when you want it to, and it will not break a sheet of paper if you do not wish it so. It is all according to the desire of the swordsman, which...
Does that sound familiar?
Boy, does that sound familiar, all the way back to Alabasta. Jeez.
Yeah, with Zoro and his fight against Mr. One, which I feel like we had already clocked back then that, like, okay, that was basically haki, right? Like that was Zoro kind of accidentally discovering haki, but kind of like having it sort of this philosophy being put into words from somebody from Wano of, like, being able to, like a good blade will cut what you want when you want, and that it is also just part of how whatever they call hockey works in Wano too, and that apparently Yo says that he was known as the Mighty Blade in the past. I don't know if I can properly teach it, but take a look for yourself. And he goes in, give me your direction. It's like he's gonna swing down his right hand with his right hand as a sword, and then you see, like, dude, Yo locks in. You see that shading on his face, and then he just just fingers, like, just straight into that alpaca guy's face, and he knocked him back without touching him.
Yeah,
and that's
totally
it.
Did it.
And you're like, oh, like you knew that at this point we knew he was a Yakuza boss. Like, oh no, he's got hands.
Oh yeah, Hyo's awesome.
Yeah.
It continues Oda's trend of old people still having it and wanting to show that old people can still be really cool.
Exactly.
So even when they've shrunk like he has.
Yes. That image of him from last week where he's just like, he was like 4 times as tall.
Yep. But this Luffy was trying to do his own training, and now he has a master.
Exactly, right? Like, this is it, man. I love this sort of training arc for Luffy. I think it has been interesting that like Oda seems to want to find ways to, like, I feel like the 2-year time skip was genius for this, right? That, like, we had a training arc for all the Straw Hats and we skipped past it, right? Like, it was we just moved past it for the most part. And I feel like we don't really have traditional training arcs that you would see in other kind of like action shonen manga, but he tries to kind of weave them in with other stuff. And so to me, like, this feels like the most traditional that like one of Luffy, like the most traditional training arc that Luffy has ever gone through. And like the Katakuri fight was like kind of that, but was also like a fight to the death. And so here, despite the fact that they have colors on, the stakes are much lower.
Yeah, it's funny to think about that. Yeah, until Queen steps in, it's not a threat.
Yeah. We're establishing that Luffy's hockey is more than enough to handle these guys.
Yeah. Oh goodness, I'm so excited. Like, yeah,
it's fun.
I can't wait to
I
see
feel like
you
wouldn't think it would be so fun to watch Luffy run around in a prison, like completely separated from the rest of the Straw Hats. But it's honestly one of my favorite parts of this section.
It really is. That man, I think one of the most fun parts is going to be Luffy slowly gathering the strength to beat Kaido.
Yeah,
and
I feel like we're a long ways away from it, but you're seeing the payoff is starting to get set up.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of Yu Yu Hakusho and building up towards Toguro, like through the entire like. You have a lot of enemies ahead of that point. It's kind of training as you're getting there. You're getting stronger and stronger. And then you have this, but you still have this massive wall to get through. That is like, even though you've gotten through all of it, you might still not be strong enough. This guy is just that powerful. So
yeah.
I'm excited to see how Oda treats this.
Yeah, it's gonna be a long journey, but I think it's worth it. I think the payoffs, Oda, if there's one thing, man, he knows how to pay off on the long term.
Isn't the end of Wano like 100 chapters from this point?
Yes.
Wow.
Just about, maybe a little more than that. Maybe 110.
That's amazing.
We got a long ways to go, man. we have the entire length of Dressrosa left.
Oh, amazing. But let's get to chapter 940, Sparks of Rebellion, where Bartolomeo gets a little bit of a highlight where he's just created candy versions of the Straw Hats for the summer festival, but won't let the kids touch because...
yeah. I love that this isn't even animal related.
Yeah, the rest is all the Zodiac, but then there's Straw Hats.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh gosh, but we cut into Ebisu Village, and Law has left, saying, "Don't forget the fact that you doubted the loyalty of my crew. If we can't trust each other in moments like this, then I can't expect to entrust my safety to you when the fighting is fierce." And,
he's got a point.
Yeah, he's not wrong. And Usopp's just like, well, there we go. Law got mad and stormed off. Let's hope he decides to come back. Way to go, Shinobu. And Nami's next to him, just like, yeah, you know why she's frustrated, right? They've been waiting 20 years. And it's like, even if Beppo and the others did let the secret slip, I'm not going to blame them. It was like, of course you won't. You do the exact same thing. Oh, like you, Windsqueal. If I was being tortured, I'd last 3 seconds.
Come on, but more of a fight. I love this back and forth with Usopp and Nami.
That's about right, yeah. But then we see somebody not so happy in Ebisu, where it's like, "Be gone from my sight. I will never sink to accepting the help of lower classes." It's like, wait, when do people get angry here? It's like, that's just the new fellas. Former residents of the capital got kicked out yesterday. And turns out we get a little bit of a backstory on the 3 guys that we saw really upset with Hiyori, which he was going through.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
The flower capital only accepts residents who are loyal to the shogun and produce wealth to keep the economy flowing. But from what I hear, they were up to some bad business. The underling Bungo went around lighting fires at night, then paid off officials to avoid punishment. An arsonist. And then there's Bongo, the lumber seller, who would make money from the people who needed wood to rebuild their burned down homes. And then there's Bingo, the priest and undertaker, who gouged the grieving families of fire victims for expensive funerals. The trio of
these guys
Bingo,
suck.
Yeah, seriously. The trio of Bingo, Bongo, and Bungo were working together because they paid off the officials. They were never caught and prosecuted. They were vile miscreants who enjoyed a clean public perception. But the funny thing is, all 3 of them were head over heel in love with the beautiful Oiran Komurasaki, who died yesterday. Apparently, all went bankrupt giving her expensive gifts. So it seemed God was paying attention after all. So,
got him.
So
yeah,
I was like,
so it's kind of getting your. I feel like that's further contextualizing like the now that we kind of know that Komurasaki is she's doing this to bad people, right?
Oh, yeah. Like they
had it coming.
It's her own way of fighting back, which is pretty great.
Yeah, exactly.
But Yasu was actually the one trying to help them pick out a house and show them around, but they're just unmanageable. And that's when we start talking about Yasu, because he sure does love helping people, even the ones up to no good.
Yeah.
And we focus in a little more on him, where he's just saying, like, it's fortuitous we learned in the upcoming battle, but it is indeed a pickle. The plan's broken down and the bad guys know all about it. If only you could skirt free of trouble by claiming, oh, it's all a lie, nothing more. But the problem is your brother in arms might believe you. I didn't even know about this custom of the waning crescent moon tattooed above the ankle, so those are even more comrades in waiting. Pass along the message to young Kinemon and his fellows, if you will. Tell them if they fight, they'll have us with them. Things are about to get busy, so after all, it's just been a week. It's just a week until the big battle, so there's plenty of other folks that seem likely to die before we even get that far. And he's his usual self.
Yeah, man. And so it is at this point that it's like, what does he know?
he is so well informed. To the point that I'm almost like, is he Odin?
Right. Or like, what is he last chapter is like, oh, like, is he are we kind of laying into some suspicions here? But now it's like, oh no, like there are even more people willing to fight, those who didn't get the meaning of the message. So it's like, like we're going to continue to build up our numbers.
Yeah. But here's the interesting thing is that, I'll admit, the entire time he was talking, I was wondering how exactly that old guy. He's like, yeah, he is a very shifty man, but who is he? And then Shinobu goes, we don't know.
Right. So he did most of the talking, and he spoke to us with such familiarity. I would hate to cause offense by asking in case he was someone important. That is so relatable.
Yeah, it is.
That is so relatable. I've done that so many times, and I feel so bad.
I've had hours-long conversations with somebody, and the entire time I'm like, I don't know their name.
Yep. It's like they talk like you know that we know each other. And I'm like, yeah, you just kind of go with the flow. So like,
and I know them. I just can't remember their name.
Yeah, which is like. Is Tonoyasu like? Is he a genius of like social engineering? Or he's like he just acts so familiar to everybody that's just how he gets to know everybody. But like he doesn't seem like a bad guy, right? Like, he's just kind of like he's going around just like helping all these random people.
Yeah, helps this old guy, helps this old nori maker. He's just how's the baby? How are the knees holding up? Is your mom feeling all right? Would she eat it? And he's like, man, he's just a generous guy. And that's not what you think. The wages come from manual labor are less than beans. His only daughter, a girl named Toko, had to be sold into a job at the capital. Most of her earnings she sends back to Yasu. And it's like, Usopp immediately like, wait, her? It's
yeah,
like,
which I think I don't think we had it really confirmed that like, Otoko is from Ebisu Town, but like yeah, she's from Ebisu Town.
Yeah, we knew she was from Ebisu Town. I did not clock that she'd be the daughter of Yasu. Because everybody's laughing here, so I thought it was just a village thing. But when you look at their smiles, when they're next to each other,
they do look very similar.
Yeah, it's very much similar, and I almost wonder if him being like this is infectious to the rest of the town. And that's why they're like that. It's just because of his influence. Because as they said, he's our saint.
Yeah. Which, and it feels like that almost in a way of like, as like a symbol, right? Like, hey, like life kind of sucks here. So like, let's just all just like laugh it off. And it's sort of like almost like he's his actions are kind of like the reason that everybody's able to just, they're surprisingly chipper for a town full of poor people.
Yeah. And I was suspicious of him at first, but then you get all that. It was like, no, this guy's trustworthy. But what's his deal?
I don't think Oda would pull things like that, right? Like I think other than or maybe rather, we just had the thing with Pudding, right? Of somebody who's so overwhelmingly nice that it ended up being the twist that she was evil. I don't think that's what this is.
No, I don't think so. But back to the excavation labor camp. And it's still Luffy versus the Armadillo Man. And it's time for the lesson from Hyo. It's like, what you call hockey is known as Ryuo here in Wano. And it means flowing cherry blossom. And Luffy's going, all right, let the hockey flow. And he punches the Armadillo Man straight in the face. And
it's just a normal punch. I love it. He goes flying and he's like, damn it, that's not it.
And he's like, do not overstress. You must allow the hockey to flow into your fist from the parts that do not need it. And he just starts punching the crap out of this Armadillo Man. He's like, wrong. He's taking out guy after guy. And he's like, damn it, I can't get it right.
Yeah, I love all this time. Queen has just been slurping Oshiruko. He's just like, hey, give the guy a break from the beatings already. It's just like, this poor guy.
And I love how everybody goes to sleep and he goes, damn it, we have to do it again tomorrow. Let me fight more now.
Yeah, again, like this is just great, real, proper training for Luffy.
He's like, I need to get some food or I'm going to be a mummy by tomorrow. And that's when Hyo's like, hey, can I ask you something? He's like, why do you fight against Kaido? I heard you lost him in Curry. I can't talk about it. The guards are listening in. One sec. Okay, now we can do it.
This has been the most Luffy has ever used Supreme King Haki, like back to back. And it's so convenient.
So he breaks it down. It's like, okay, do you know what the 4 emperors are? No. All right, they're 4 great pirates called the Emperors of the Sea. Kaido's one of them. I'm going to be king of the pirates, so I'm going to beat them all. And he's like, wait, king of the pirates? Is that like Roger? Oh, Gold Roger. Many years ago when he landed on this island. Oh, yeah, Kinemon mentioned that too. It's like, wait, Kinemon? And that's when Raizo shows up in the middle of Caribou.
Yeah, I love like, what the? Raizo Caribou. It's such a bizarre image. Raizo's head, giant head popping out of Caribou's just glop.
So Yorogoro gets the whole breakdown. It's like, you say that you traveled across 20 years of time from that fateful day to now. It's like is the work of Lady Toki's sorcery. It's like and Luffy's mad at Caribou. He's like, oh, you're the one I'm down in Caribou. He's like, no, don't be like that. I thought, and it turns out Raizo did not get Luffy's keys, but Caribou's keys.
So it all ended up working out.
Caribou goes, is all this hate really necessary? Come on, I know I can help you out. I'm your underling now, boss. And all I'm asking for in exchange is a little itty bitty ride on the ship back home. See? What? You need a ride home? I realized here is my way, as I'm a changed man. He has this weird grin on his face.
Yeah, Luffy just gives him a little bit of a stare. It's like, okay, as long as you've changed. Caribou's like, what? Yeah.
A generous offer, thank you, sir. He's like, is this a trap or something? Because that was too easy. I'm a little worried. And that's the thing. I completely believe that Caribou is not going to betray him. I actually think, thanks to that cover story, and him having that whole that reaction to Luffy's like, wait, is this a trap?
Wait, he kind of understands
that he's kind of legit.
Caribou has learned what it means to receive kindness from other people.
Thanks to that old lady. So
yeah,
I actually really appreciate that cover story because it made me actually appreciate Caribou, because for the longest time it's like, why is this character here?
Right?
He's
like,
just
he didn't like him.
Completely unappealing.
Yeah.
And yet, I'm curious what Oda's going to do with him from this point on.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan, but I don't hate him anymore.
Right. You kind of wonder where this is going. Like, why Caribou? Why here?
Exactly. So, Raizo seems to think he'll be of great service, so we'll see what happens. But I do love this moment with Yo, is where it's like, I was so close. I nearly accepted my death. I gave up my life for Lost, and if any of this had happened a moment too late, I might have died not knowing the truth, that the Akazaya samurai are still alive, that the son of Odin, Kozuki Momonosuke, is still alive, that the fire of rebellion still burns, that the sparks have not gone out. So, Raizo, Straw Hat, I know that I'm old, but there is life in me yet. There must be something I can do. Please let me give you my assistance. And
which is it's wonderful. He's gotten a new lease on life, thanks to this. You understand just a little bit of hope that it kind of, that's all it takes. And I feel like it's been kind of a running theme too. Yeah, he was just a guy, and that, again, Luffy didn't know who he was. It was just out of an act of sheer kindness, right?
I think so far, if I had to point to how we have our like VIP of the extra characters, and there's going to be a lot of competing ones for this. So far, for sure. Hyo's on the top of my list, I think.
Yeah, well, Hyo suddenly is now really important because he has to teach Luffy how to use Ryuo. So it turns out that this feeble old man, like he's got the juice, right? He's got that hockey. So he's able to kind of he in a way is sort of the key for Luffy to reach the next level. To have even like the faintest of chances of having a rematch with Kaido. So,
and not only reach that next level, but combat the fact that they lost all those people with the crescent moon tattoos.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yes. Because kind of as they go on to explain, right? Like, we could not have asked for a better man, Luffy. Like this man, Hyo, was once the greatest Yakuza boss in all of Wano. That old fart really was that great. But But like kind of as Hyo goes on, that's just like like you've been gathering comrades within the flower capital, so it is surely fate that has brought you here. That there are 4 other excavation sites that are just as large as this one, tens of thousands of prisoners like us in Udon, but not all of them were imprisoned for petty theft and assault. Nearly all of the prisoners here are guilty of rebellion against Orochi. So, kind of just like the prisoners underground in Dressrosa, it's like the rage of this country's gathered, it's thick and heavy. So the Yakuza leaders who once supported Wano from the shadows are all held at this prison. So, like, the prison ended up being the perfect place for Luffy to end up.
He's gonna... Hey, what's Luffy really good at? Rebellion. What's he gonna do?
Yeah.
Set free some prisoners. So
yeah, what is he also really good at is like, convincing people to fight for his cause.
Oh yeah, inspiring just all these the criminal element to help him out, and all these low lives and just crazy people. Did it with the gladiators, and now he's doing it again with this. So it's amazing.
Yeah, and I love Raizo goes on to say that, like, I talked to Kawamatsu, he's the first one I mean to release, and Luffy's like, that's great, we tear down this place, everyone's gonna join our side. So he's like, don't shout like that, it's not gonna be that easy. But of course, Luffy always sees just like the easiest immediate solution, and it's like,
it's just that simple. I again, the smirk from Kawamatsu as they're talking about it, I was like, I cannot wait to see what this guy looks like. I cannot wait to meet Kawamatsu, and I'm so curious about it. But
man,
we don't end with Luffy. We end with Big Mom. I'm sleepy. I'm hungry. I'm sleepy. I'm hungry. When are we going to get to the Oshiruku? It's like, well, our crocodile seems tired from the journey, but don't worry, we're already within Udon. Chopper's just like, oh God, do we actually want to get there or not?
What's going to happen? Oh man.
Again, it's the individual elements and all the spinning plates. Like, I cannot wait to see Big Mom get there. I can't wait to see more of Luffy's training. I can't wait to see what's up with Yasu. I can't wait to see what's up with the Yaruriku, whatever bandit guy is.
Oh, Gyukimaru. Yeah.
Gyukimaru, yes.
So no, it really, God, there's like 5 different subplots all happening at the same time. And of course, there's the stuff in the capital, like, Law stormed off. What are we going to do with him and his crew? Like, it's crazy. And also, we hadn't touched on it this set, because they hadn't mentioned it, but like, Kid just like left.
True. Yeah. Kid is just sort of gone. So who knows where he's at? What happened there?
Yeah. So,
I am hoping, though, that we will eventually, like, Robin got to do a little bit. Frankie got to do a little bit. Brooke got to do a little bit, but Usopp hasn't really gotten a chance to shine yet. And we're to see where his role comes out.
Just been kind of hanging in there, it feels like. So, and of course, Chopper's not really doing that much either, but he got the gag role. So I think
he's wrangling Big Mom, which I think is like the most terrifying thing that you can do.
Yes,
so I'm giving him a free pass. Best I can say about Usopp is that he's the one that followed the plan the best.
That is also true. And that it was sort of his role in all of this, I think, was best fit for sensibilities.
Yes.
So that is also, I think, kind of, that is important in its own right. But I do feel like we are in this section where, like, we're still in the setup phase, right? We're going to be in the setup phase for Wano for a very long time. And so you kind of hope that everybody kind of gets at least something to do before all the fighting starts.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
So I have to assume there's going to be other notable people to fight as well, because it seems weird to have it limited to just Jack, Queen, and King and Kaido.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I feel like needs to be more fights than that, more major fights than that, especially with the Akazai at 9 and everything else.
Yeah, for sure. It takes a long time to build up to for a reason. That is the best way I think I can put it right now. Like we are. All of these little things are just all going to start coming together, and I have a feeling. Again, I don't remember exactly the exact order of events, but like I think it's time to start like paying off some of these subplots.
I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see how those start getting paid off. So we shall see. But yeah. With that, I believe we've said all we wanted to say about chapters 936 to 940 of One Piece. Thank you so much for listening, and you can find more of my ramblings and stream VODs over at BitNerd Games on YouTube or simply BitNerd on BlueSky. And Brandon, where can everyone find you at?
I am Brandon Bovia on Twitter and BlueSky, talking about anime, manga, games is my job. And since it's, I don't remember exactly when this will go up, but I did, me and a bunch of my letterer friends have been doing like our yearly recaps of just like how many books did we do this year? We put them all in a nice little image just to see. So I got to do 40 volumes of manga this year.
Holy crap.
Some were omnibuses, so it's like 30 or it's like 42, 43-ish Japanese volumes that got turned into 40 English volumes, if you want to put it that way. So little kind of about a little less than a book a week.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So and for me, one of my lighter years, I've done upwards of like I think 50 or 55 might be the most I've done, which I don't recommend. And then of course
impressive.
I saw my homie Phil Christie, who's one of my favorite manga letterers, and he put up his post. He's did 83 volumes of manga.
Oh my God.
He is a monster.
That's
like,
insane.
He is built different. Basically twice my output, and I feel like I'm a little overworked, right? And he's over here. That man does not sleep.
He must not. Good God.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Well, yeah, definitely check that out because it's an impressive lineup.
Yeah. I feel like I don't often talk about most of the stuff I do. So if you're just like curious at a glance, like, oh, what manga did I work on this year? You might recognize something, or just like, oh, I did a random volume of this or that. So go check that out.
Yeah, very much so. And if you'd like to help us out more, you can support the podcast over at patreon.com/Derrick Bittner. That's DerrickBitner to listen to the next episode ad-free 3 days early, as well as patron-exclusive bonus episodes. And make sure to return next time as we discuss chapters 941 to 945 of One Piece. So until then, my friends, bye.
Remember to take life one piece at a time.
So the Akazaya samurai are still alive, are they? And that isn't all? Odin's son Kozuki Momonosuke too? It's more than some tall tale. The rebels' flame still burns bright.